Good morning everybody. This is my second video on quadratic equation. On my last video I already explained about the fundamental of the quadratic equation. There I already said you that quadratic equations format and the method by which we can solve it. As we know that there are different methods to solve the quadratic equation, and one of the method is the factorization method. Factorization methods follow these three categories by steps in which you can go and solve the quadratic equation. So here in this video we will try to solve some of the questions so that you can develop a better idea about the solving of the quadratic equations. So in that connection I have chosen some of the questions. So let's go for solving the questions on quadratic equations. Here is a question, you can see. The questions go something like this: x plus 1 by x equal to 2 1 by 2. When you take LCM of x, you find here denominator is 1, so 1x, you can find here x into x is x square. You can find then here after the LCM you find numerator gets x square plus 1 divided by x equal to 5 by 2 when this is converted into a improper fraction. Then by cross multiplication we can find here that 2 is multiplied with x square and 1. So x square plus 1 is multiplied by 2 and x is multiplied by 5. As you can see here I have written there, by the cross multiplication we are landing into this step. Again you can see 2 into x square gives you 2x square, 2 into 1 equal to 2, and equals to 5 into x gives you 5x on the right hand side. Now to set into the quadratic format, first is 2x square and bring the 5x to this side. By transposing you are getting minus 5x to the left hand side, then plus 2 gives you 0 because all the numbers from the left hand side, right hand side shifted to the left hand side. So in this case when you factorizing it, okay, so you have to solve this quadratic equation by the factorization method. So in that connection you have to split this middle term. The middle term is 5x. I splitted it into minus 4x minus x. There is a reason for it. First I should multiply the first term and the last term. Their multiplication comes 4x square. 2 into 2x square gives you 4x square. So I should break this minus 5x in such a way that their multiplication must result minus 4x square. Plus 4x square, but the sum should be minus 5x. Look at that, minus 5x I divide into two different parts as minus 4x and minus x. When I multiply minus into minus I am resulting plus, and 4x into x gives you 4x square, which is equal to the product of the first term and the third term of the quadratic equation. So this is the trick to break the split of the middle term in such a way that their addition and subtraction should give the middle term. I mean, for minus 5x I have written here minus 4x and minus x, but when I multiply these two parts I must get the multiplication of the first and the last terms multiplication. 2x square into 2 gives you 4x square. Similarly minus 4x and minus x, when you multiply also you are getting 4x square, but when you add this minus 4x and minus x gives you minus 5x. Okay, now by factorizing you can find here you can take 2x common for the first two terms, and 2x when taken common you can find here remain is x, and from this term you get 2. Let us multiply and check. 2x into x gives you 2x square, and 2x into minus 2 gives you minus 4x. Similarly here only minus 1 can be taken common, so remaining is x minus 2. Multiply now to check the previous step. Minus x into 1 gives you minus x, minus into minus plus, and 1 into 2 resulting 2. So after factorization you are getting this step. Here you get only two terms, one term and the second term. Within this two terms you find x minus 2 is one of the factor. So x minus 2 is present here, x minus 2 is present here also. So you can find here x minus 2 is one factor. From here x minus 2 has gone as a common factor, remaining is 2x. and here x minus 2 is taken as a common factor outside, so remain is minus 1. So now factorization, completely linear factorization or linear factors are x minus 2 into 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So by equating to 0 rule, we can find here x minus 2 equal to 0, so x equal to 2. Similarly 2x minus 1 equal to 0, 2x equal to 1, and x equal to 1 by 2. So the x has got 2 roots. One is x equal to 2 roots. First root is 2 and second root is 1 by 2, 2 and 1 by 2. These are the 2 roots, or we call the solutions for the x for the quadratic equation. Okay, so quadratic equation at the question whatever given, we are reducing into this term. So this type of questions comes under the reducible to quadratic form. So here we solve this equation and bringing the real quadratic equation, then we do further factorization and solving by equating 0 rule and finding the roots of the equation. So when the equations are not in a quadratic format, you have to reduce them into quadratic format, then you have to factorize. That is what you need to do. Okay, in this video I explained about how to factorize if an equation is not in the quadratic form, bringing it to the quadratic form and factorizing and equating to 0 rule and finding the roots of the equation. Thank you.